Is the Aston Martin DB11 the best GT car? Today we're going to take it out for a drive and find out. This is a 2018 DB11, finished in jet black, metallic. Coming from the DB9, quite a big departure in terms of styling. Still a gorgeous car though, of course. Aston Martins are always guaranteed to be lookers. You get a 600 horsepower twin turbo V12 sitting in the DB11. As you would expect, it is a wonderful place to be. Much more modern look over the DB9, which is starting to get pretty outdated. Somewhat controversial, maybe not so loved center console area, though I will say it's not nearly as messy as like the Vantage. Just like the attention to detail, like even just in the seats here, like everything just looks very premium and special, and not many other car manufacturers have stitching quite like this. The front logo is finished in like this really sick like forged carbon. Kind of squared off steering wheel, not a huge fan, but very nice feeling paddles. One thing that's a little completely unnecessary, I would say, is this button here. Don't know why you need a button for that. Don't know why you can't just pull it back. It's not that hard. I guess people complain about using very minimal force to push back a... Anyways, plenty of headroom, plenty of legroom. If you are a taller person, there's plenty of room. And that is key for a GT car.
Hello, what's going on?
So right now we're starting off in GT mode. It's comfort setting essentially. Automatic mode currently. It's just very subtle, shifts are smooth. Everything feels very normal.
This is nice.
It's just nice.
This is nice.
Rides quite well. It's not, of course, as plush as like a Bentley. I could easily drive this every day. Seats are really comfy. Not only do they look really good, but they feel great.
Yeah, super soft leather.
Yes, super soft.
Super soft leather.
Dummy soft.
I'd sleep on that.
Auto starts really in a V12. This being comfortable in GT mode's kind of a given. Like, it rides great. Part of what makes a GT car is the fact that it can do all these things, right? It can be a long distance cruiser. You can crush continents in it in a very elegant, civilized manner. Cocooned in luxury, comfort, all that good stuff. But the push of a button, you can simply change it into a much more sporty experience. That's what this car delivers, I think, better than anything else. Sport Plus. Okay. Oh, settle down there. We're not there yet. We're gonna be in Sport first. So now we are in Sport mode, middle of the road setting, shifting ourselves. Immediately the exhaust is a bit louder.
Opened up.
Not as loud as it will be in Sport Plus, but it is a bit louder. Gear changes are a little bit more immediate. Your normal stuff that you would expect, right? Everything gets a little bit more tightened up. Steering is a little bit faster. As she moves.
Was that full?
That was full. Doesn't sound very turbocharged. 600 horsepower.
900,000 pounds.
Not as much as you would think, actually. 3,900 pounds.
Huh.
That is, yeah, exactly. It's not as bad as like some of the old Astons, which
Yeah, exactly.
were well over 4,000 pounds. So they've really trimmed down the weight, and you really couldn't tell anywhere from the outside, but you can definitely tell from driving. This car does not feel that heavy.
Oh, wow. I like that. I can get behind that.
It is a pretty linear power band. No turbo lag at all. You get 516 foot-pounds of torque. This definitely has more pull than the Vanquish that we reviewed. 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. Top speed, 200 miles an hour. I feel like Astons are cars that people kind of respect more so than like other exotics, like Ferrari, Lambo. Unfortunately, people might view you a certain way. Maybe might get a little jealous. Yeah. If you're in an Aston Martin, I feel like no one's going to be hating on you.
Yeah.
You do have your suspension settings as well. I appreciate when cars have this because a lot of times in exotics, you're kind of just stuck with, you know, if you want the sporty driving, you're going to have the sport suspension as well. You can't customize. That's why McLarens are nice. They have that feature. This has that as well. But yeah, you do have an 8-speed ZF automatic transmission. Transmission's been used in many cars over the past few years. It is a great transmission. Not as quick as a dual clutch. Definitely better than like an older single clutch and then the older Astons. Revs to 7,000 RPM. And it's got some torque. I mean, this thing pulls. Super wide power band. Seems like, I mean, from any RPM, it just pulls. Unlike the new V8 Vantage, this motor is actually designed and built by Aston Martin, which I love. The steering, I will say, it doesn't have a whole lot of feel to it or feedback. I mean, I'm not expecting that much for any modern cars because everything's electric power steering now. The ride is still not too bad. Even in Sport Plus mode, everything in Sport Plus mode, it is not bad at all. There's a couple cops there, Keep it cool, keep it cool, keep it cool. We are in an Aston, so we're probably not gonna draw too much attention. He probably goes, I like that guy. Turning is definitely pretty immediate. I mean, like I said, this car is not nearly as heavy as you would expect, and it feels quite delicate, I will say, in the corners. With everything in Sport Plus mode, the shifts are definitely a bit punchier, a bit quicker. They don't surge as much. I still find this pretty comfy. You can definitely feel it is quite a bit stiffer, especially now if you put it into GT mode. Yeah.
Way smooth.
Yeah, it soaks up the bumps a lot better. The DB9 never really encouraged you to drive quickly. This does.
Oh, second.
It's 85. This car is just way more capable and adaptive than the DB9. A little more of a dual personality to it, I'd say.
Yeah.
There's just more you can do in this car. So compared to the competition, Bentley Continental GT, McLaren GT, I still think this is a better overall, as a GT car, this is a better overall package, I think. The Bentley, while it definitely rides even smoother than this, because it's just a Bentley, it just has that plush ride. It does way more, it doesn't have as sporty elements to it. I think that is more just strictly like luxury cruiser. McLaren GT is the most sporty of the three, but because of that, maybe it's not as comfy. Outright balance between comfort, sporty driving, elegance.
This is the Goldilocks.
I think this is the best. Brakes, pedal feel, quite good. Astons have done pretty well with brakes. This car, when it was new, I mean, Astons, they do tend to tank. This car, when it was new, you know, between $220,000 and $250,000 range. On the used market, they're an absolute steal, I think. I mean, this car for $150,000, that's...
Yeah, I'll bite.
Aston Martin owners, they're very self-aware about how their cars perform. Like, they're not gonna buy a car like this and go, I'm gonna go take on some F8s.
Yeah, no.
Some 488s and some Huracans. Like, you're gonna get absolutely smacked. Like, they know their car is not the fastest. But what they do know, their car looks better than yours. There's a chance that it sounds better as well.
And everyone likes them more.
And they can be in the car more of the time. Because it's so comfy and because it just has these qualities. If you buy an F8 or like a McLaren, you might be kind of like, well, that doesn't perform like I thought it would, or that doesn't. This car just simply is comfortable, rides nice, sounds good.
It's a yummy car.
Objectively looks good.
Yeah.
Looks are subjective. With Aston Martin, they are objectively good looking.
You either think it's beautiful or you're wrong.
This specific DB11 is, I think, the meanest DB11 I've ever seen. Most of them are like silver or white, which are nice colors, and they're classy colors. It's nice to just see a blacked out DB11. You know, Aston Martin, they're almost like Lotus buyers too, like people who buy a Lotus, like a true car person. They know what they're getting themselves into.
This is like a Lotus to the negative first. Like, it's the exact inverse of everything a Lotus is. But the type of person that buys this is very similar to the type of person that buys a Lotus.
Yeah. Visibility, it's not amazing, but it's decent. It's not bad. Interior quality, well, I mean, everything is leather, stitching, this crazy pattern here on the doors. I don't love like the layout, I guess, of like the screen just stuck on. It's very Mercedes, and it does use older Mercedes software compared to the old Volvo shit that was in the old cars. It's a lot better. One thing about Astons that I always loved is they always look so elegant and sort of tame. You're just simply not expecting this type of noise to come out of the exhaust. I feel like a non-car person who saw an Aston would be like, oh, like how does it sound? Probably pretty quiet. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel down below, and I will see you guys in the next one.